Using the F1 Manager database editor, I've been live streaming a randomised grid using Ferrari, where we've randomised the grid using a wheel spinner, and it's been quite interesting, but it's also got me thinking. What would happen if we made every driver on the grid a free agent? Hello folks, welcome back to ASGP and welcome back to F1 Manager. We are going to be experimenting today. We are going to be letting every driver on the grid out of their contract. So, first thing we need to do is start a new career. So, we're going to launch a new career of F1 Manager, and I thought we'd use Williams for this one. So we're going to put in my name. And we don't need to worry about the development or the difficulty level. I'm an experienced manager. Anyone who's seen my Mercedes career journey will know I'm a World Championship winning manager on this game. So, we are diving into Williams. And the grid is as normal at the start of the game. We've got Alex Albon and Logan Sargent as our drivers. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to save the game. Here we go. We'll just overwrite this Haas one that I was doing a different experiment with, and we're going to quit to the main menu. There's going to be a little edit here, and I'm going to jump to the editor because I have to come out of the game to do it. So I'll see you at the editor. Okay, here we are. Database editor loaded. I'm going to choose save number 9, which is the one we've just been working with. And we're going to go to contracts. I will leave a link in the description as to where you can find this editor, and there will hopefully be a guide I can find somewhere that I used to install it. It's fairly basic. You will also need Python. If you've used that before, it's a enabler basically. So here's the grid at the beginning of the save, and here's all your free agents. Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Kvyat, could he make a comeback to Red Bull or AlphaTauri again? We could put Kimi Raikkonen back at Ferrari and see what happens. There's also this guy, we'll ignore him. Robert Kubica's here, but we're actually just going to increase all of this. There's actually Michael Schumacher there as well. So we're going to remove Max Verstappen from Red Bull. We're just going to let everybody go. We're going to clear out all the reserve drivers too, and we're just going to see what happens essentially. I kind of expect that everyone will end up back where they kind of start, but the curveball in this is that we're going to have 2 empty seats to fill as well. And that Haas save that you saw me overwrite was essentially a test to see what happens if you remove the drivers from your own team using the editor. It doesn't let you continue until you fill the gaps. So we will have to go and sign 2 drivers immediately, or 3 drivers in fact, because we'll need to sign a reserve driver. So we can also bin off this Luke Dupont bloke, who I've literally never heard of until I saw him in this game. So we have a nice blank canvas of seats. Let the silly season begin. Right, the game is loaded back up, and there's a promising sign here in that it's not showing us any drivers in this load screen. So I'm going to load career, the Williams save, I'm going to go load career, and hopefully we've got no drivers. Hey, there we go, we've got no drivers. So we've got 11 days till the Bahrain Grand Prix, and there's no drivers on the grid. Let's see what the championship looks like drivers wise. Yeah, look, everybody is a free agent. Everybody is available. So we need to now get some drivers because there's no one driving the car. Let's see who we can get. Look at all these free agents. Well, who do we want in our team? Should we try and sign Max Verstappen? He's open to negotiation. This is incredible. Propose contract. Let's offer the contract. Declined. He wants more money. He wants more money. So let's offer him 20 million. He wants even more money. Okay, we probably can't. We probably can't sign Max Verstappen. Okay, we're offering Fernando Alonso 2 seasons at $15.5 million a year, $255,000 signing bonus, 50 grand every time he finishes 8th or above. What's the deal, Fernando? We have a deal with Fernando Alonso. We're hiring Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso now drives for Williams. Okay, let's see if we can find him a friend. What about Lewis Hamilton? We didn't get it right with Max Verstappen. Let's do car 2 immediately. He wouldn't be the number 2 driver, but this would be a lot of fun. Let's give him exactly the same contract as Alonso. Alright, moment of truth. Are Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso about to be teammates again? No, they're not. What about Lando Norris? Lando. 3 seasons immediately, and let's see what he says to basically the same deal as Fernando Alonso. Alright, is Lando Norris joining Williams? Yes, he is. We have got Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris. Williams is now for Lando. Alright, Sergio Perez, are you our reserve driver? No. He refuses to accept a reserve position. That's expected. So we need to sign someone who will be a reserve. Let's try Liam Lawson. Okay, we're offering Liam Lawson $5 million a year in salary and 100 grand in signing bonus. 2-season contract. Are we taking the Red Bull Junior as our reserve? We are. Okay, so we are hiring Liam Lawson. We have drivers. Welcoming Fernando Alonso. Lovely, lovely. Welcoming Lando Norris. Welcome, Lando. I was going to say g'day, Liam Lawson, but I think he might take offence to that because do Kiwis say g'day like Australians do? Someone will have to correct me on that or advise me on that in the comments. So, we have drivers. We can now progress to Bahrain, but everybody else is a free agent. So Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Sainz. The only drivers on the grid officially are Alonso and Norris. I'm expecting that Russell, Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, they all end up back at the correct teams, which would be a bit of a shame. So this might be an experiment that kind of goes wrong. What we could do, in fact, is save the game here. And then we can just sort of do a rinse and repeat. So let's save that. And we'll do a few tests, see what happens. So here's test number 1. Right, I've advanced a few days. Let's see what's happened. Where has everybody... Oh my gosh! It's not all the same. Verstappen predictably goes to Red Bull. He's joined by Charles Leclerc. Perez has gone to Mercedes. Ferrari have pinched George Russell to go with Carlos Sainz. Hamilton remains at Mercedes. Bottas has gone to McLaren. Ricciardo's at Alpine. Magnussen has replaced Alonso at Aston Martin. Gasly's at McLaren. McLaren have got an all-new lineup. Mick Schumacher's back at Haas. That's insane. Piastri and Sargent have just been left without a seat. Okay, well, Albon's at Alfa Romeo. Hulkenberg's at Alfa Tauri. Okay, that was interesting. So that was test number 1. Let's see if test number 2 is any different. Alright, we've advanced a few days for the second attempt. Let's see if it is any different. Max Verstappen still at Red Bull, but Charles Leclerc is now the man at Mercedes. And Lewis Hamilton has gone to Ferrari. George Russell is at Ferrari as well. Mercedes and Ferrari have just swapped drivers. That's interesting. Perez stays at Red Bull as the good boy number 2 driver that he is. Ricciardo is at Alpine again. Gasly and Bottas again at McLaren. Magnussen goes to Alfa Romeo this time. Tsunoda is still at AlphaTauri, and he's joined by Nick de Vries, as is the case anyway. Mick Schumacher goes to Haas again. Who's he joined with? Because Albon's gone to Aston. Oscar Piastri this time does get a seat, and it's Nico Hülkenberg who's the unlucky driver in that case. Okay, quick advance again for attempt 3 to championship and to drivers, and we've got basically the same result as the first attempt, although Magnussen ends up at Alfa Romeo again. Haas and Mick Schumacher seem to really like each other. Piastri gets the second Haas seat this time. Experiment number 4, let's see what's it got for us. It is basically the same again, although Hülkenberg gets the Haas seat this time. It's just picking drivers based on their overall rating, I think. Although Perez at 88, yeah, he's stronger than Russell, so that would make sense. So Mercedes, because they've got the second most money, probably. Yeah, that's interesting. It's not jumbling it up as much as I would have hoped. Final experiment attempt. Let's see. And yeah, it's figured out what we're doing, basically. It's figured it out. That second run was actually probably the most wild that it could have been. But I mean, it's still interesting to know how, if you take all the drivers away, how it then decides where to put them, and kind of what's going on in the background when you're playing your saves. That this probably explains why Charles Leclerc joins Red Bull in most people's season 3, unless you sign him first, of course. So yeah, it does tell us a little bit about the way the game is coded, I would suppose. Yeah, that was slightly eye-opening, if not slightly underwhelming, but it has given me some ideas. What we could do is maybe put the Formula 2 drivers in there somewhere and see what happens. If you enjoyed that little experiment and would like to see more, make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video for me. You can join the Discord, where there is a video suggestion channel, and if you have some experiments for me to try out, join the Discord and put them in that channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more F1 Manager content, and I'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye for now.